Tovela. I hope that you are well. Welcome to another episode with me, your host, Kgoshikgadi Matlala Wamutao, the mother of hunger. Yes, yes. Okay, and I am here to quench that thirst, that hunger, with some soulful, mindful, and most honest reflections of myself, giving you my own ideals and opinions about things that spark me. Okay? Yeah. So today, what sparked me is manifesting in action. And to define manifesting from how I understand it or how I researched, it would be meditating on the things that you want or meditating on the desired outcome in which you would love the universe, people, things to attract the things that you would love to happen in your life. And action, it is the act in which you do something or the ability to do something, right? So being in motion. So manifesting in motion, attracting in action, right? Yes. So this recently sparked me, right? I was thinking about how I'm going through changes in my space, in my life, and growing as a being. And I was thinking about how I can never achieve anything unless I'm doing something to do it. So as long as I'm not doing something today, then I'm not having a desired outcome. I'm so sure that nothing is going to come out of me just being and me not doing anything, although I'm dreaming about things, even though I scribble them down, even though I think about it, even though I pray about it, as long as there is no motion or intended action into achieving those goals, then those goals stay in my notebook, those goals stay in my head, those goals stay in my prayer, those goals stay wherever that I projected them, because I am not showing them the direction in which I need them to land onto my life. So I am not acting in accordance to how I want them to come onto me, how I want them to locate me, how I want them to be attracted to me. So I'm not speaking onto the universe the way that it understands, because how I have gotten to understand it, that it understands us through signs that bring revelation, and that is what other people would say the universe, as I would regard, as other people regard God, speaks to us in that way through signs and revelations. So we also need to do as below so above. We need to speak to the above as so below. We need to act into what we want the above to understand. I believe that you show signs and revelations to what you're trying to do, and people then also know. If you dress a certain way, people understand you to be that type of person, or understand you to be that kind of character, or understand you to want to be perceived like that. So they also then address you according to that. So you've attracted that opposite reaction in which people now understand you, not outside of also what they understand life to be, or understand that kind of dressing to be, or understand that kind of being to be, right? So it's not subjective only to how you are looking, but also objectified to how they also understand that. So with that said, is that whatever that in which we are trying to achieve, it's also in relation to how other people are going to navigate it, how other people are going to receive it, how other things around us is going to be attracted to us, right? And things, it be phenomena, time, it be energy, right? It's going to help us in that, right? So if I get up, right, and I bath, and I do the most with the bath. I do the most with the bath. I look clean, I whatever. I'm going to start feeling my energy and my mindset starting to meditate on this look that I am putting on. It's going to start giving me the confidence, even my energies within me. Well, I'm trying to say my hormonal processes are going to start releasing certain hormones that are going to help me either excite, make me energetic, make me feel good. You understand? Even my appetite will speak to that. Sometimes if you look at how you're feeling, it even enhances certain appetites. It'll either enhance like a sweet, like to that, like enhance like this thing of I want sweet things, I want nice things today, I want to treat myself. Or it'll just make you feel like I don't even feel like eating, I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like doing anything. Or it'll make you feel like I don't know what I want, depending on exactly how you are projecting your actions, they attract. So now I guess I'm speaking about those meditations or those manifestations that we have indirectly without intending, because sometimes we're not self-aware, or we're not in the notion of that everything that we do has an intended action or reaction towards it. Rather, should I say reaction, right? So it attracts a certain mode, attracts a certain mood, attracts a certain energy unto us. Yeah. So with that said, I say that we are what we do more than what we thinketh. What we thinketh, we become by our actions. It needs to have a reaction from us that this is what I really want. This is what I want to do. If I want to get learned, I need to read a book. If I want to get healthy, I need to eat health, either by what I eat through my mouth, how I think, and then what I do physically to act into that intended notion of I want to be healthy, right? If I want to advance myself in a certain way, whatever that I watch has to be in that notion, right? Even our phones do that, like our hyperlinking. Once you watch stuff or you watch too much of things, you will get so much advert into that. You'll get so much like advertisement towards that. And by advertisement I mean that now there'll be more apps that speak onto that. There'll be other channels, like if you're on YouTube, that speak more onto that you researched the other time, or you were looking at, or you were enjoying. Even like your Spotify, how your playlist will be influenced, your Instagram, your any app really that you use also looks into the things that it caters to, the things that you want to watch, the things that you instruct into your phone, into your universe, that okay, these are the things that I like seeing, I like entertaining, I like to influence me, I like to speak to me, I like to speak onto the things that I do. And you then also create content that is also aligned to that. So even the content that comes towards you aligns to what you are projecting, right? That action in which you did. So even the very essence of manifesting is an action. For you to sit there and decide that this is what I want from my life, or this is what I want to see out of my life, or this is what I want to watch, it is an action on its own, right? So you become the thing that you want to see. You become the thing that you want to project your life to be. You become the thing that you understand the world to be, right? And in my writing, I wrote that you can pray about it, and until you become the prayer, you have not achieved anything, or you cannot achieve that thing that you're talking about, right? So you, even like when we speak about the different types of manifesting, right? If I were to come in a little bit with that, right? So examples of them would be affirmations, journaling, listening to meditative music that helps you center down your mind, and then you become meditative. And then once you're in that state, right, you then can start creating an imaginative world of what you want to happen with your life, and then you project it, right? And speaking onto these different forms, you can please comment with more that you know. I'm open to suggestions and knowing. Yes, yes. Yeah, so continuing from that, the affirmations that you're saying to yourself are also a contribution of an action that you do. You instruct your brain every day to thinketh in a certain way, to imagine in a certain way, to then excite a certain sense of you, confidence, understanding, speech, walk. And then you start becoming the idea that which you are telling your senses to start putting a perception of you, So when you walk out of here, you understand, this is the intended you that you want people to negotiate with, you want people to understand, you want people to get to see. In that said, right, there's an action that's happening within that. So I say that is you praying in a form of action, right? Not just being in your knees and instructing the universe. After you're done with that, you go and you apply. You become this applied prayer. You design then this idea into action, into being, into physicality. It just doesn't live in your imagination anymore. It just doesn't live somewhere in your thoughts, right? It now becomes a related idea. And now you slowly but surely, your life, your people that you meet, the things that you engage in, the places that you go to, the ideas that you entertain, the people that you choose to speak to you, the things that you start speaking onto, start radically to form this you, start to form this lifestyle that you see, start to now form, even the very reasons why you do things, why you wake up, how you wake up, and what you do when you wake up, what you handle your day as how you also project your day to be, right? It starts now knitting into this, manifesting this life, becoming this manifestation, becoming this being, and you start becoming one with who you ask to be, to God, to your gods, to the universe, or to nothingness, whatever that you do, right? And it starts following a pattern from when you start deciding that I am going to put a form and a formation to this thing. If it's a business, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to learn how to construct a business idea, learn how to construct a business proposal, learn how to get connections or get to seminars or get to conferences or get to places where I can learn. You pick pages on YouTube or anywhere that can learn, like that can teach you about what you're trying to learn. You learn money, you learn saving, you learn investing, you learn all of these other things that you need to learn. And you start now taking your life from where it is to where you see it and where you want it to be, right? And that also creates this relationship between yourself of trust, of belief in yourself, of confidence within yourself, of achievement within yourself, and most likely limits a lot of low vibration states that we suffer in ourselves. So what is a low vibration state? A low vibration state is when you suffer thoughts and even at times lead to sicknesses that are done by you thinking negative, right? Thinking negatively of yourself, of your life, of your actions, of your reactions, of how people treat you, of how things happen in your life, and you thinking that it's outside of you, and that you are always having things done to you, and you literally give your control to all of these things. And you lose literally anatomy to yourself and your responsibility to yourself and the charge that you need to have in your life, right? So, furthermore, if you right now see something that you looking at it and it's like it looks so far-fetched from you, it'll be so far-fetched until you do goals, daily goals that support that big goal that you're trying to achieve. Unless you have a structure that is going to be supplied by your actions, that are supported by a plan that you drew for yourself. That, okay, if I wake up and I eat, if I wake up at this time, maybe you do like the 5 a.m. club, and you meditate on yourself, you journal on yourself, you maybe read something, right? Say your prayers, however you say your prayers. Some go outside and they just breathe fresh air and they just release whatever they need to release, and thinketh on who they are, what they are, and where they're going. Some, kneel and say their citations, some say their affirmations, some, it's different for everybody, right? The intended use of it is for you to vibrate higher, to release toxins that are inhabited in your thoughts, inhabited in your body, that are hurting you in some way or form, right? And you are doing your best to level up to higher vibrations that you need the universe to help you with. Yeah. And then you start now raising this vibration. From that, you start now moving into either work, if you're going to work, or you work, like you are independent in your work, you work for yourself, or you have school or whatever, and then you manage your time, making sure that in that time management, there's time for everything else that you're doing, and there's also time for the goals that you have of yourself, right? That would be your eating habits. When you eat, what time are you eating? From the time you wake up, what are you eating? Are you going for a run? Are you going for a run later? Are you going to gym during the day? Are you going to gym later or in the morning? However way, these small goals that you have and you check off your list every day now make a sum of this bigger goal, right? Which will be your body goal, your mental ability, the wisdom that you want to have, the thoughts that you want to have, the ideals that you want to carry, the things that you want the world to basically understand about you, right? If you're doing social media, you do that video, you make that video, you follow that trend or not, you do your own thing. However way, you decide what exactly is the influence that you're trying to have on your life and the impact that you're trying to have on your life, and therefore it will expand into other universes, which are other people. For me, I exist with other universes that exist within other people, which create multiverses for me, because how another person is, I'm not. Whatever environment that they are, I'm not. Whatever star that they come from, it may be different from mine, and however way that you understand, however God has gifted them, however the universe uses their gifts, is not the same how I am gifted and how the universe is using my gifts, right? And learning is always important to me, to humble myself to learning, right? So that I can expand also in my attractions, in what I'm intending to do, in what I'm intending my life to be, right? So manifesting in action is something that, like, I hold so dear, that even when I am not, somebody said, or somewhere where I read, is like, you don't need motivation, you need discipline. The greatest of greats say this a lot, that you don't need to be motivated. I wasn't motivated today to do this, right? To sit here and speak, although I have a responsibility to myself to say, I promise myself to impress myself. I promise myself to do better than yesterday. I promise myself to check off my goals. I promise myself that I'm going to do better than yesterday. I promise myself that I am going to do this YouTube. So I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to be responsible of it. I'm going to be consistent at it. I am going to have the discipline to do what I said I'm going to do, and show up for those goals, show up for those intended attractions that I want the world, the universe, God, and every other thing to conspire for me, right? And that is my message for today. Yeah? Yes, let's strive to impress ourselves. Let's strive to do better than yesterday. Let's strive to give best to our abilities, best to our gifts, best to our abilities, best to where we see ourselves, where we want to go, best to our lives. You know, we owe our lives everything and beyond. We owe it everything that we want to see out of it. And in it, we owe it absolutely nothing short of perfection from our imperfections, doing better than yesterday. I wanted to do this. And then it ended up being like, you get it. Yeah, I hope that you're good and that you're well. Please do share your reflections with me. I'm always open to hearing what you have to say in the comment sections. Find me also in my social platforms should you want to add anything or say anything to me. They are the same as my intro name. Yeah, and I always leave it down in the description box. I don't know if it's a box. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me and for being with me. Thank you for watching this far. I hope that you're good. I'm saying that for the second time, if not the third time. That's how much I'm hoping, right? And have an amazing day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, okay, that you're having. And bye.